Hello, I am Shumon Shaha, your educator. Welcome to the student. So today we are going to discuss about the classification of enzymes. There are few enzymes which may have more than one names, but they all catalyzed the same kind of reaction. So from this aspect, here is a need to naming them so that they can be classified depending upon their mode of action. And in this condition, International Union of Biochemistry, IUB, they classified enzymes in total 6 classes. There are mainly 6 classes. For the first one is oxidoreductase. So in the type oxidoreductase, mainly the transfer of electron is take place from a donor to a acceptor. So if I come to the details of oxidoreductase, the mechanism of the enzyme by which they catalyze the reaction, then you can see here that A and B plus. So A is in, so before reaction B was in oxidized condition, okay, and A was in reduced condition. After that, by leaving a electron, A now become A plus. Here A is oxidized from its reducing condition, whereas B plus, which was in its oxidized state, now taking the electron which was left by A, B now become reduced, B plus is now reduced to B. So this is a oxidation reduction reaction which is mainly catalyzed by the oxidoreductase enzyme. So here you can also see that suppose when A leave a electron, then B plus, which was a acceptor here, taking up this electron, and then A, which was in reduced state, now become oxidized, and B plus, which was in oxidizing condition, now it is become reduced. So this is the mechanism of enzyme of class oxidoreductase by which they catalyze the reaction. So here is an example which was from the glycolysis pathway. This is the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or GAP, which we known as GAP, and it is now converted into 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid. Here NAD plus, which was in oxidizing condition now, and GAP, which was in before reaction was in reducing condition, now by taking the electron which was leaving or which was left by GAP, NAD plus is now converted into NADH, whereas GAP is converted into 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid. So this is the oxidation reaction is taking place here, and this is the reaction, this is the only oxidation reaction which is taking place during the glycolysis pathway. That's why glycolysis is called the oxidation pathway. So that's why glycolysis is called oxidation pathway. I think you all are clear about the oxidoreductase enzyme, how they mainly act upon its substrate. And if I came to the example, there may be dehydrogenase, there may be the example of reductase, etc. Okay, now this is the second type of enzyme classification is transferase. So this is the transferase. What kind of reaction mainly catalyzed by transferase is the kind of reaction is mainly catalyzed by transferase is the transfer of a group. Here the ATP which has the phosphate group is transferred to a molecule which is A now become phosphorylated by the enzyme phosphotransferases or kinases. So mainly kinase type of enzymes, mainly they catalyze this kind of transferase reaction, this kind of transfer of a group from its own, and it's transferred to another molecule, and then it become phosphorylated, and then it become phosphorylated. So A is now become phosphorylated. Okay, if I came to an example, then you all know that the first step of glycolysis, where glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate. So this phosphate group is came from the ATP, where ATP is converted into ADP, and the phosphate group, I mean the PI group or inorganic phosphate group, which was left by ATP during its hydrolysis, is donated to glucose molecule in its 6th position. So glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate by the enzyme hexokinase. So there is a name kinase. Mainly all enzymes which have kinase in their name are mainly catalyze this kind of transfer of a group, I mean this transferase reaction. Next, this is the third type of enzyme classification is hydrolases, where a water molecule, here a water molecule break the bond between A and B. I mean this is a kind of hydrolysis reaction, hydrolysis of a bond. This is a hydrolysis of a bond. Here the bond between A and B become hydrolyzed, and the H molecule, and as we know the H2O is formed by 2 hydrogen atom and by a oxygen atom. So one H molecule is attached with A, and the OH molecule is attached with B. Thus how hydrolases catalyze its substrate and convert it into product. This kind of reaction mainly we see in case of digestive enzymes like pepsin, trypsin, etc. These digestive enzymes are mainly extracellular enzymes, or these are hydrolysis of this is a extracellular hydrolytic event, and the lysosomal enzymes are mainly acid hydrolases, and they are intracellular hydrolases enzymes which are present within a cell, not outside the cell. Next we came to another type of enzyme is lyase. They are also known as syntheses. This is a very important to know the concept behind the name synthase and the name behind lyases. Let's give a look here. When A plus B is converted into AB, then the type of enzyme is known as synthase, because a bond is being synthesized here. Whereas when this reaction is totally in a reverse direction, then the enzyme which is work here is known as lyase. So you can easily notice here there is the same kind of enzyme which catalyze the reaction in both forward and backward direction. So this is the enzyme which can undergo both forward and reversible, both forward and backward reaction. I mean reversible reaction is taking place. So from this phenomenon you can get an idea why the naming of enzyme is so important. If there is no naming of enzyme, then lysis and synthesis will be the different kind of enzyme, but after the naming by IUB, these lyases or syntheses are categorized under a same kind of enzyme. I mean, they all have the EC number of 4. I am coming to that EC number in later part of my lecture. Okay, and there is a very important and crucial concept, how those reaction are reversed. I mean, how they become reversible reaction. So the del G naught, I mean the Gibbs free energy is negative and very less negative. This negative is not so high. So this reaction is can be reversed in both direction. I mean, this reaction can be go in both direction, I mean both forward and reverse direction, whereas hydrolysis have the del G naught which is very negative and high negative. We can it is very obvious that when pepsin or trypsin catalyze their substrate and they break them into a smaller part for absorption by our digestive system, then it is not possible that after the breakdown of a protein into amino acid it can be reverted back into the protein again. So this hydrolysis reaction must be always be go in the forward direction forever. It never be a reversible reaction. I think you are clear. So that's why the del G naught is very high negative in case of hydrolysis kind of reaction, whereas in case of lysis the del G naught value it's negative, because if it was positive then the reaction will be not spontaneous. If it is positive, so the del G naught value must be negative, but it is less negative. That's why the reaction is reversible here. Okay, now coming to the fifth type of enzyme, which is isomerase. Here a molecule A is converted into another molecule by just changing a position of a functional group in its molecular skeleton. I mean, if I give you an example, it will be clear for you. Glucose 6 phosphate converted into fructose 6 phosphate, then there is just a conversion or just a transfer of a aldehyde molecule into a keto molecule. I mean, in glucose 6 phosphate, if we know, or if I give you the structural if I give you some idea about structure, then there is a CHO, right, left, right. There is OH, 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 OH. This is a structure of a glucose molecule. And in case of fructose, in the second position there is a keto group. So aldehyde is converted into a keto group. This is kind of reaction is catalyzed by isomerase enzyme. So A and B have the just have a difference in their structural skeleton, nothing else. Okay, so glucose 6 phosphate can convert it into fructose 6 phosphate by the enzyme isomerase. And why the del G naught value is positive? Because to run the reaction in forward direction, the concentration of A must be so high so that it can be forwarded, or it can be go toward the forward direction, to the forward direction. But if the concentration of A is not so high, then in normal condition the reaction is favorable from B to A. This is the meaning of del G naught positive. So in case of any isomerization reaction, the concentration of substrate must be very high to run the reaction in forward direction. Okay, and the example of this class of enzymes is mutase, enolase and isomerase itself also an example of this kind of enzyme. Okay, next and the last classification is ligases. Here A and B, which are before reaction, they are present as separated molecule or substrate. After the reaction, there is a formation of a new covalent bond between A and B. As we all know, covalent bond is the energy rich bond. So to form a covalent bond, there must be some expenses of energy. So this energy is given by the hydrolysis of ATP to ADP. Okay, and for that reason, by using the energy is minus 7.2 kilocalorie. By using the energy, the bond between A and B is formed. Okay, so ligases needed ATP hydrolysis for formation of bond, but in case of lyases where A plus B is converted into AB, their del G naught value is generally negative and but less negative. So no ATP is needed here for the formation of bond between A and B. But in this case, in absence of ATP, the del G naught value of this reaction is positive. So it never be possible the A and B can form the covalent bond between them without the help of ATP spontaneously. To make the reaction spontaneous, here the ATP hydrolysis is mandatory, so that the del G naught value overall is become negative. How? So del G naught value overall minus 7.2 plus it may be 5.3 kilocalorie. So this is a negative value and this is a high negative value. For this reason, the reaction is undergoing in a irreversible manner. I mean, it never be reversed back. I mean, only the forward reaction is favorable here, whereas in case of lyase, this reaction is reversible. Why? Because the del G naught value is negative, but it is less negative, whereas here the del G naught value is high negative. But in the absence of ATP hydrolysis, the del G naught value is positive, so it never possible to form a bond between A and B without the help of ATP hydrolysis. And the example of this kind of reaction is fatty acyl CoA synthetase, amino acyl tRNA synthetase, like that. Okay, so there is a synthetase by which you can classify or you can identify these kind of ligases enzymes. Okay, now I am coming to the EC number. So what is it? It is EC number. The International Union of Biochemistry developed the naming of enzyme system, which is mainly known as EC number. Here is an example: tripeptide amino peptidase. Suppose I am giving you a 5.3.2.1. Okay, so this is 5.3.2.1, 5.4.3.1. okay, like that. इसको छोड़ दो. Okay, so 5 means the EC, according to EC number, it is isomerase enzyme. How? Okay, now coming to the first slide, we have to remember all the enzymes according to their arrangement in this list, because according to this arrangement they have a EC number. Like oxidoreductase is first in this list, so EC number of oxidoreductase is 1, and EC number or enzyme or enzyme class number of transferase is 2, like that hydrolase has 3, lysase has 4, isomerase has 5, and ligase has 6, like that. So in this example, the isomerase which has a EC number of 5. So if there is any number which is started with 5, means that this kind of enzyme has isomerization property, or it is a enzyme which is belongs to the class isomerase. Okay, next, here is an example is EC 3.4.11.4. so 3 is the class of enzyme which belongs to hydrolases. So this is the hydrolase enzyme, and beside that the 5 mainly denote the class, the 4 denote subclass, 3 denote subclass. Okay, so 3.4 means this enzyme has a subclass, which means that it act on peptide bonds, means it hydrolyze the peptide bonds. 3.4 and 3.11 by means that it has its subclass is that it cleave off the amino terminal, I mean it act on the amino terminal of a amino acid. We all know that there is two terminal of a peptide, one is N terminal and another one is C terminal. So this 3.4.11 act on the amino terminal, so it cut in the amino terminal of each amino acid, and by 3.4.11.4 it means that it cuts the enzyme which is a tripeptide, as I denoted here. This is a tripeptide, means thus it is made up of 3 amino acid. Okay, and as a chart which I provided for you from the book Lellinger, you can use it for your examination purposes, because this definition can be provided in your questions for in case of MCQ type of examination which you are going to given in after seeing this type of lecture. Okay, so here is a chart is given for you from the book Lellinger. You can use it for reference, as the definition of different type or different class of enzymes is given here in a very precise manner, so you can use it for your reference. So thank you. If you like my lecture, please give us a thumbs up, share this lecture, and comment below if you have any question regarding this topic. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next part of this lecture. Thank you.